Assalamualaikum Warahmatullahi Wabarakatuh. The Honorable Lecturer Mr. Yazid as an introduction to literature lecture and all of my beloved friends. First of all, let us give thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala for giving us guidance and blessings. And secondly, my salawat and salam are always delivered to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, who has brought us from the darkness into the brightness. Okay, we are from second group, one to presentation about poetry. Let me introduce my presentation group. There is me, Ficka Defani, as a moderator, and there is Shinta, who delivers the second material, and then there is Zian, who delivers material for part A, and there is Nawiroh, who delivers material B, and the last is Nining, who delivers material C. Okay, for the first material is about poetry. What is the poetry? Poetry is one of the oldest genre in literary history. An earliest example go back to ancient Greek literature. In spite of this long tradition, it is harder to define than any other genre. Poetry is closely related to the term lyric, which derived etymologically from the Greek musical instrument lyra, lyre or harp, and points to an origin in the spirit of music in classical antiquity as well as in the Middle Age. Minstrel recite poetry accompanied by the lyre or other musical instruments. The term poetry, however, goes back to the Greek word poeo, to make, to produce, indicating that the poet is the person who makes verse. Although etymology shedded light on some of the aspects of the lyric and that poetic, it cannot offer a satisfactory explanation of the phenomenon as such. The genre of poetry is often subdivided into the two major categories of narrative and lyric poetry. Narrative poetry includes genres such as the epic long poem, the romance, and the ballad, which tell stories with clearly developed. And the shorter lyric poetry, the focus of the following comments is mainly concerned with one event, impression, or idea. Okay, next presentation is continued by Sister Shinta. Time is yours.
Thank you, Sister Ficka. I will be continuing the presentation. Some of the precursors to modern poetry can be found in Old English charm and humor. Code text and magic, such as spells that were supposed to help dispel chaos, seem strange today, but were common in that period. It was the beginner of many national literary preservation texts in early cultural history. Acoustic music is a hallmark of poetry, which continues in modern pop songs. In the Old English period, the ancient poetic form was adapted, becoming composed of several seriously timed stanzas, mostly classic with a consistent rhyme pattern. Sonnets, since the Renaissance, have been used in poetry primarily to discuss the theme of worldly love. An important and controversial term is image, or image, which relates to a number of different issues currently being discussed. It refers to the text-dominated visual component that includes other sensory impressions. Image is the most common manifestation of the concrete character of poetry. Even though abstract themes are in the middle of poetry, poets still use concrete imagery to make it easier to understand. The concrete characters of the language of poetry can be achieved at the lexical, thematic, visual, and rhythmic acoustic level that reflect the most important elements in poetry. Okay, maybe enough from me. It will be continued by Sister Zian.
I will explain the next material. A. Lexical thematic dimension. The issue of the narrator, which has been dealt with in the context of point of view and character in the treatment of fiction, is usually referred to in poetry with the term voice or speaker. As poetry is often regarded as a medium for the expression of subjective personal events, an assumption which does not always correspond to the fact. The issue of the speaker is central to the analysis of tone, the use of lyric language, more than the use of complex narrative situations. Distinguishes poetry from the literary grances. Concrete nouns and can are employed in order to exhibit this particular effect. In his elegy written a country quoted 1017-51, which deal with human transformation, Thomas Gray used concrete images such as a cemetery, the ringing of a bell, a farmer returning for killing, darkness, and the town stand. Object and expressive can are described in order to make the poem concrete. As said major genres in textual studies 51, the actual theme of transtoriness is abstract. In Elegy by V.H. Auden use a similar technique. Okay, the next material will be explained by Sister.
Okay, thank you Sister Zian, and I will continue. The next material is visual dimension. While emergent traditional poetry revolves around a transformation of objects into language, concrete poetry takes a further steps toward visual art, concentrating on the poem shapes or visual appearance. This movement, which was referred in the 20th century, has a long tradition, reaching from classical antiquity to the Latin Middle Ages and on to 17th century England. Among the best known picture poems of English literature are George Herbert's 1593, 1633, Easter Wings, 1633, A Swan, The Altar, A Swan. On the next page, Herbert's poem convey a visual as well as a verbal image of an altar, which the poet has construed from parts which have been given to him by God. The building blocks of the altar are the words, which Herbert assembles in the shape of an altar. Herbert thus places himself in the Christian tradition, in which existence begins with the Word. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1:1. Herbert built an altar out of wood, and upon it he offers to God whom the very word themselves. The altar. A broken altar, Lord, thy 7 layers, made of hearts and common with tears, whose part are as thy hand did from. No workman's tool hath touched the same. A heart alone is such a stone, as nothing but thy power doth cut. Wherefore each part of my heart meets in this form to praise thy front, to praise thy name. That if I chance to hold my peace, these stones to praise thee might not kiss. Okay, the next material is continued by Sister Nining. For Nining, its time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Sister Nawiroh. I will continue the last material. The last material is rhythmic acoustic dimension. In order to achieve the concert quality of poetic language, a poetic can produce a sound or tune which is directly related to the content of the statement. The acoustic element, like the forms, visual appearance in concert poetry. True case in writing comes from art, not chance, as does both Yazid who have learned to dance. Ideally, in traditional poetry, the lexical, thematic, visual, and rhythmic acoustic dimensions used here to illustrate the most important elements of the genre should link with each other. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you for attention. Back to moderator.
Okay, maybe enough from second group. Thank you so much for your attention and thank you so much for watching. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.